So in the middle of the Great Depression, 1930s, I wound up just about homeless.
Unemployed was at some 18 or 19%. I couldn't get a job.
I was going to the Fitch High School, and I was going there in the daytime, and I was working at an electric boat company, believe it or not, 3:15 to 11:15 in the evening.
Well, the war was on, and I knew I was going to be drafted anyway, so I went over before my 18th birthday and enlisted in the Navy.
I went to the recruiting office to see if I could better myself.
I was very much interested in furthering my education.
My cousin and I tried to join the Marines. We both graduated from high school at 17. And it was June of 42, gung-ho, going to join the Marines and all that. They took him, wouldn't take me because I had flat feet.
I had met some submarine people while I was in radio school, and I was impressed with them because they seemed to be so smart, and I thought I was kind of dumb.
The local chiropractor said he couldn't fix my feet, so I went down and joined the Navy.
They told me if I'd come over, if someone failed to show, they'd take me in his place, and they did.
And one day I just walked into Miss Copeland's office, and I put my books on the table and said, "See you later, I'm joining the Navy," and that's exactly what I did.
My first ship that I was assigned to was the USS Nevada, which was a battleship. It was sunk by the Japanese on December the 7th at Pearl Harbor. I was not on board at the time.
19-year-old Deen Brown had just completed radio school when his naval career took an unexpected turn.
I had been ordered to radioman school early in the war in San Diego, California. And I'd graduated from radio school, and I was on my way to Pearl Harbor where the Nevada was at. And while I was en route, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and they sank the Nevada and all the other ships included. So when I arrived, I recognized my ship immediately. It was sunk. I didn't know it was sunk until I arrived. And I knew then that I would have to find someplace else to report to, and I volunteered at the submarine base for submarines. Well, I just realized that I was very lucky, okay, that perhaps, fate had steered me in the right direction, to be sure. And of course, when I saw the Nevada, I was very much surprised that it was sunk, but that didn't last very long because as I went a little farther, and going into Pearl Harbor, you had to go around a certain curve to get in the harbor. So as soon as we went around that curve and I saw the rest of the destruction in the harbor, then I was absolutely drained, I think, of all of my senses. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was just an appalling sight. The ships were sunk, there was fires burning, there was oil all over the harbor. There were crews working frantically to remove stranded sailors that were entrapped in those ships. And so the place was rather chaotic, to say the least. I, of course, had orders to report to the ship, to the Nevada. I attempted to do so, but all the crew and the officers and so forth from the Nevada had dispersed. I couldn't locate any of them. And so in desperation and being a young sailor, I wasn't quite sure what I would do. So finally, I went to the Navy receiving station there at Pearl Harbor, which is sort of a clearinghouse for people. And I told the officer in charge there what my plight was, had orders to a sunken ship, and wasn't quite sure where I should go. Well, he had so many problems, he really didn't have very much time to spend with me. So he, in effect, said, well, go where you think you can do some good and report in. So here I had a chance for once in the Navy to write my own orders. I decided I would go to the submarine base, and I did.
After 8 war patrols on the Trout, Brown left the ship temporarily to attend radar school.
So there, I left the ship to go to radar school with temporary orders. I was to return to the ship when it returned from its war patrol, which was the 11th war patrol for the Trout. And by the time I graduated from radar school, I had gotten the word unofficially that the Trout had not returned. It had not reported and had not returned. And so then eventually I did get the word officially that it was presumed lost. So that was the second ship that I lost simply because I had been in school. I knew that I had to keep going. We were in a war, and military men can't stop just simply because their shipmate or their buddy, which may be standing right beside them, happens to meet a fatal situation. So I could not stop. And so after it was lost, then I was asked if I would go to sea again on another war patrol on board a different submarine. And I volunteered for that.